Hello, welcome to the Electoral Commission of Queensland's webinar about dedicated campaign bank accounts. This webinar has information for candidates, groups of candidates, registered political parties, third parties, and agents in the upcoming 2024 local government elections in Queensland. We're going to go through what a dedicated campaign bank account is, who needs to have one, what can be paid into and taken out of the campaign bank account, and what you do with your account after the election. And we'll also let you know where you can get more information or assistance from the ecq if that's necessary. So, what is a dedicated campaign bank account? It's a separate account set up with a financial institution that is used by an election participant only for their local election campaign. Candidates, groups of candidates, registered political parties, registered third parties, and third parties who should be registered all have to have a dedicated campaign bank account to participate in local governmental elections. Why do you need it? You can't nominate for an election without one if you're a candidate. If you're a group of candidates, you can't form your group so that you're able to campaign as a group without a dedicated campaign bank account. You have to use the account to pay for all of your campaign expenses. So if you didn't have one, you couldn't have campaign expenses. And you also need to use the account to receive all your gifts or loans if you're a candidate or a group of candidates. And finally, the less practical reason, it's the law. The failure to have and to use a dedicated account correctly, that's an integrity offense, which carries substantial penalties, including the fact that you would not be able to be a counselor for a period of years. So when you have the account, what can be paid out of the account? You're going to want to use that account to pay for all of your campaign expenses, including all of your electoral expenditure. Now, you probably already know electoral expenditure does have a specific definition, and not all campaign expenses are electoral expenditure. You need to know what is and isn't electoral expenditure so that you can disclose properly and so that you can meet your expenditure caps properly, which are both subjects of other webinars in this series. Today, we just have a little bit of a table if we want to take a look. On the left there, examples of electoral expenditure. So these are things that are used for a campaign purpose, for the purpose of getting yourself or your group of candidates or people you approve of if you're a third party elected. That includes graphic design for an election core flute, maybe boosting posts on your Facebook page, paying for postage if you're mailing out flyers to people in your area, web hosting fees if you have a campaign website, and printing how to vote cards. Of course, the list is much, much longer. That's just some general examples. Things that aren't electoral expenditure, that includes coffee, snacks, food, any petrol or fuel you need for your campaign travel. If you are renting a campaign office, the rent and utilities on that office are not electoral expenditure, and neither is your stationery or your paper clips. If you want to hold a sausage sizzle, say, for your campaign volunteers, that's not electoral expenditure. And it's also not electoral expenditure to employ staff for your campaign. That one gets into some gray areas. You might want to go take a look at our webinar, What is Electoral Expenditure, for more information on that. How do you make payments from the dedicated campaign bank account? You can only make payments in the ways listed. You cannot use a credit card to pay for any campaign expenses, and you also can't use funds in your dedicated campaign bank account to pay a credit card charge. What can go into the account? Now, candidates and groups, all of the gifts and loans that you receive for your campaign must be paid into the account. If someone hands you cash as a gift, That has to be deposited into the account before you use it to pay for electoral expenditure. You can also place your own funds into the account, but you want to be careful with that. We've had candidates with issues in previous election where they transfer a whole lot of money over into the dedicated campaign bank account. They don't use it all, and then at the end of the election, there are funds left in the account that they're not able to get back. We're going, uh, any money that's left in your account, there are just a few ways to handle that. You can keep it in the account for your next local government election. You can send it to a charity, or for candidates and groups of candidates, if you were a member of a political party during your disclosure period, you can donate it to the party. And for registered political parties, you can also pay it to the party. So again, this is just a reason to be very, very careful when you're sending your own funds over, because you cannot transfer money back into your personal accounts. All records, bank statements, transaction records regarding your bank account need to be kept for at least 5 years after the election. The ecq conducts compliance reviews after elections, and they may contact you for information or records relating to your bank account, so it's important to keep these full and accurate records relating to all the transactions. We have a comprehensive range of fact sheets on our website, and this is where we recommend you go next for more information on this topic. We have a few specific fact sheets that expand on what we've talked about today. Fact sheet 15, ban on the use of credit cards, and then the 4 fact sheets about different election participants' dedicated campaign bank accounts. So if you're looking for more information, we encourage you to go take a look at those fact sheets on our website, ecq.qld.gov.au. You can also go to the legislation itself and read it. Find that legislation.qld.gov.au. It's the Local Government Electoral Act of 2011 that governs local elections. And if you have questions for us at ecq, we are the Funding, Disclosure, and Compliance team. Our email is fad@ecq.qld.gov.au, or you can phone us. We do only provide general advice. If you have any doubt regarding your obligations, we are going to encourage you to seek independent legal advice. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. If you have other questions about your obligations during a local government election, check out our other webinars or get in contact. Thanks so much. Have a good day.